You will need an Air Genie airbrush, a Meramist black food coloring, cookie magnets, and a Stencil Genie. Place a top-coated cookie onto paper towel with the Stencil Genie. Weigh down the stencil using cookie magnets. Load a Meramist food coloring into a plastic dropper. Fill the color well of the airbrush with black Meramist food coloring. Turn on the Air Genie, then test out the airflow on a piece of paper towel. Use a chopstick to hold the stencil flat to the cookie surface as you airbrush. Build the color in 2 to 3 light coats of black food coloring. Remove the cookie magnets and Stencil Genie before airbrushing the rest of your cookies. No need to rinse off the cookie stencil between repeats. Continue building the color of the design on each cookie. Don't use too much food coloring or it will seep and run beneath the stencil. Always remove the cookie magnets before lifting the stencil off the Genie. Now to stencil your cake, first coat the back of the cake stencil with food shortening. By coating the entire back of the stencil with food shortening, you ensure that it will be held flat to the cake surface. Hold the cake stencil in place and put a sewing pin through the bottom corner of the design. Continue putting sewing pins through each corner of the stencil design so that it is held flat against the side of the cake. Load the airbrush with black Meramist food coloring and test it out on a piece of paper towel. Before stenciling, cover the rest of the cake in saran wrap to protect from stray food coloring. Hold the stencil details flat with the chopstick and use the airbrush 4 to 6 inches away from the cake. Build the color gradually as you work your way across the design, moving the chopsticks as you go. After airbrushing the first coat of black food coloring, you should go over it with a second pass. Remove the sewing pins one at a time and lift the stencil off of the cake surface. Use the tapered baker's spatula to patch up the holes in the fondant from the sewing pins. Rinse the stencil off before airbrushing the other side of the cake. With an airbrush and a few stencils from Confection Couture, you can decorate cookies and cakes for your grads. For more information, visit confectioncouturestencils.com.